Okay, so create a table for sub items under each. Let me go back to Excel. Um, so like I want to write this out first. So let me just do Google Docs real quick. A blank doc. Translate this over. Maybe I can copy paste. Oh, that did not work. Okay,
Oh,
so we have development because you can export to Markdown in Google Doc, which is really nice. Infra, security. Okay, so we got infra security dependency development. I don't what I mean by develop dependency development is like examples of this would be also, can you guys collab with me on this?
yes. Yeah, sure.
Planning.
Is dependency development like, I mean, that encapsulates like the code indexer specifically as like an independent unit, right? That's what you
No.
mean. No?
Uh, I'll
Or is that more like data insight
more
side? Yeah.
yes, data insight stuff. Exactly.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. I
Um,
see. Yeah.
and there's stuff that we have to do in there. So, do you guys have, let me see, graph planning, Gabriel, Bogdan, Mike. Um, yeah, we'll share it with Matt and team later. So, um, dependency development, maybe we should call it like data insights development.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so this includes stuff like introducing new tables. So we need like we have to have someone go in and we have to define all the tables here, right? Um, like we have to define all the tables that we need to ingest. Then each of those will need maybe an issue. I don't know how they do it. We need to talk to Adam um, and OnKit, but essentially any of the tables that we need to go in. Also, if we do CI, like if we need CI data, which we will, like pipelines and whatnot, this will likely include like deploying a second Siphon instance, which that maybe would go under infra. And it would include any of the other special things. I had to do like a few special things to get CI to work. Um, like potentially even some code changes. I just forget what it was exactly. I have to look at the code diff. It's in the Siphon project. So I don't know if like Bogdan, that's something you want to look at as well. In here, like POC Siphon, I got something to do with CI. Like I have this config CI, which has which sets up some of the config here, and then these are all the CI tables from the CI database, and something else in here. Maybe it's like parent tables. Yeah, here it is. There's like I had to do like some weird table mapping config, but that's because I'm inexperienced with Siphon. And I think there's also some partitioning that CI does that Siphon didn't handle. Um, or is maybe because I needed to run a snapshot and it didn't handle it. Yeah, it's something we got to look at basically. That's high level, like that's super low level, but you see how we have like the super high level work streams, and now we can like go deep into each.
Yes.
That makes sense. Bogdan,
Yeah.
you have access or no?
I got email. Let's see.
Okay. Um,
Yeah.
um, so development is like, core application logic or core knowledge graph specific. Um, schema migration, we're also going to need like um, the query planner. I don't know how you want to break that up, Mike, but as an example, we'll need like for each of the tools. So uh, traverse relationships tool.
Yeah, I'm gonna break it down based on instead of going tool, I'm gonna go pattern first, and then all the patterns that we're building on the query planner map to specific tools.
Okay.
Because those ultimately define what tools we can have in the first place. So it's a bit backwards, but that's a better way to think about it because the query planner is kind of this like low level black box that we need to like any development we do there influences what tools are possible.
Okay.
But let me just like I can
It still will need to be a separate a separate item, right? But
yes.
yeah. Uh,
Yes, it will. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So I'll just write that down because that'll be how I develop it. But from a user and from a high level, it's better to think about it as tools first.
yeah.
And then yeah.
And if we ever want to parse Cypher, luckily we actually have a lot of work from Andrew Newdigate on,
Yeah, exactly. And
and he
cipher
wrote that in
translation.
Go, which is already he already set us up a lot for that. Yeah. Um,
Yeah, security. I'm just gonna say it like, yeah.
and we can even look at all the tables that I have here. So like,
Yeah.
look how many tables I have. These are all the
Ooh.
tables. I'm not sure how many of these exist, so we need to like do a delta between the two. Um,
We
Hmm.
probably need to get moving on that ASAP.
yeah. Um, security, Rails redaction layer, pre-filtering with traversal path. Like, I was thinking more this would be development work, unless you guys want to break it into that category where like we have some development work specifically
Yeah, we can put
security
it
related
in.
in there.
Yeah, we can put it in development
But I was
work.
also thinking larger things like threat model, like we have to fill out the issue, work with Daniel and the AppSec engineers.
Yes.
Um, Daniel, AppSec, engineering.
And I actually put it under the web server too. Ideally for AppSec, we can maybe set a precedent of having our threat model actually be something like relatively deterministic, where it's a smoke test, you know? So,
Yeah, we'll need to talk to Daniel, but yeah. And he'll probably have input on like how we can throw stuff at the query planner and the query engine. So
yeah. And
um
that's why I want to do found it. I mean, that's why originally I had end-to-end testing as like an entirely like its own unique category because I want to take the foundation DB approach to this, where they can deterministically simulate pretty much any type of traffic to their database, and they found a trillion bugs that way. Security, performance, everything, and Query Planner is good for that because you can just it's combinatorics, right? You can combine queries in any which way.
yeah.
Um, so I'm gonna say like um,
And also we need query validation. I don't know what you mean by query validation, but for tools and specifically in the tools, we're gonna have like JSON schema, right?
yes. By
And
query validation, I mean like this is like query rejection. It's like a it's like a reject accept.
yeah, we have to make sure we have handled the JSON schema security. Like that's a specific issue, right?
Yes, yes, that's a specific issue. That all falls under query validation, or I guess it's just like, yeah, I guess
Well, JSON schema is separate than query validation because J like that's
yes,
another attack vector, is what Brandon was explaining to us.
yes, because the JSON schema itself can be malformed. Yeah.
Um, or like the what the parser that you standardize. I think we wanted to use a standardized parser, but with Go it might be different, Jean-Gabriel.
Yeah, well, if we're using JSON schema and it's like a known spec, we can just use Antler or something. I'll have to look into Go support for that, but yeah,
Um,
that'll be easy to reject it then.
Bogdan, what can you think of as far as should we call it DX maybe? Why did I lose indentation? Like it doesn't, it's
I
weird.
think
It's
Mike doesn't use actual. I think Mike just makes dashed spaces instead of
yeah,
using the
Mike,
that's
stop doing that. You're breaking the indentation.
I know. Here, I'll fix it. Yeah, here. Don't.
Um,
I'll fix my silly mistakes.
um,
Okay, yeah, there we go. Silly.
so I'll put this under, I wanted to put it under that, but I'll just do it under here for now.
How do
So
I like do it? Oh my God. How do you like move an indent up a layer? Does anybody know? Oh, there we go. It's like shift tab. Yeah.
yeah, so we have schema migration, and the other thing was uh, the high level thing is essentially development, like DX, development loop. Bogdan, what do you want to call it? Like the same thing we did for local knowledge graph, just applied to this. So the full end-to-end loop of maybe development locally, right?
Usually this is called just CI/CD because it's
CD
continuous integration and continuous development.
deployment.
So deployment, yeah.
Um, so in here we have like, um, but this doesn't cover local DX, but I'll just add it like local DX, meaning like local Kubernetes cluster,
Yeah,
um,
tilt setup, all that stuff.
um, build setup, maybe local Helm charts.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, the goal should be like parity with like a production deployment, right?
goal, yeah, that's the goal. And then it's reproducible, so someone can just press knowledge graph up or something, and
Mm-hmm.
like that would be cool if we had like a specific script, as long as you have tilt K3S probably installed or Rancher or something. I don't know what tilt uses, but um, does tilt use does tilt use K3S? Choosing a local custom local cluster.
I believe it's using whatever you have installed. Like it's gonna run, it just uses like Kate's interface.
Okay. Well, then that's good. It should be the same between the two, right? And then what we want eventually is the ability to run end-to-end tests, I'm assuming, right? Which means we take all of, which this would be nice actually if we set up tilt, because what if we set up tilt to where we check out tilt, we check out the whole cluster, we spin up the cluster and run end tests against the cluster with the GitLab instance. I don't know if we can fit all of that in like a CI/CD runner, but
We definitely can. It just will be huge. But it will not be as huge as GitLab CI
yeah.
because you have seen like when you open it, it lags your browser.
So maybe we should call this testing, or maybe CI/CD plus testing plus DX.
Is there a
End-to-end tests, right? Um, uh, continuous deployment, because I think we all have consensus that what we want to do is essentially you make a change, it we can have a manual job or something, right? Where it checks out I don't know, master Rails, right? Like checks out latest what is it, that Ubuntu package.
Yeah.
um, from GitLab. Um, it also knows somehow where all the home chart deployments are. Like, I guess checks out. I'll just call it checks out dependencies because I don't know what that looks like. This is what Bogdan would want to figure out. Bogdan, I don't know if you want to drive this like how you envision it, so feel free to edit it.
Uh,
I'm just thinking out loud. The
for
goal is
now,
essentially you push to master, you press play or run the job on master. Anytime we want to deploy to the our checked out GCP project, and it has the latest changes.
Oh, guys,
yeah,
I have to go
this
to
is a goal.
the dentist. I'll be back after for the schema migration stuff. But
Cool.
if you need anything, look at the SDLC epic I have. It should answer all your questions. I'll send a link in the chat. But like overall, yep.
Okay.
Bye. Talk to you later.
All
Bye.
All
right.
right. See ya.
Um, yeah, I have time until 4, so
Okay.
we can
Sick.
keep going. And then I'll meet with you guys later. I'll jump on later. I just have a meeting at 4.
I somehow corrupted my GDK. Now I need to reinstall it.
Yeah. It,
I did GDK update and it corrupted itself.
it's funny.
Just one command.
I that happened to me if you're too out of sync with main, it gets corrupted.
It was 3 days only.
Oh, it was 3 days? Oh, that's weird. Yeah, for me it was when I did it, I was like 3 months out of date or something. That's why I got cried in 3 days is that's not a lot of time, but it's okay. Um,
So from infra perspective, this is going to look like, why is this, why is this indenting? Okay. From infra perspective, we're going to have Siphon deployment. This is already kind of underway, right? Um,
yep.
Siphon producer deployment. Sorry. Um,
Yeah.
so these are all separate tasks. Cipher producer deployment. This will be for staging, production.com, right? And then I'm just gonna call it deployment, like it's more like delivery, right? So I'll just do producer deployment slash delivery. We have staging production. And this is already kind of covered in the engineering doc, but again, like this is something that we can track. So staging production and then delivery perspective for self-managed or like dedicated, I guess first, and self-managed. Same thing for back, whoop, shift tab, Siphon, sorry, Nats deployment, delivery, also staging, like the exact same things. Um, Maybe we can even add like readiness review, question mark.
Is there a specific policy for readiness reviews, or are these just
Yes.
like, okay, gotcha.
I'll go over
Okay.
that with you guys as well.
Okay. Yeah, if you link like yeah, if there's like a general link for that, that would be perfect too.
Yeah, that's a whole process.
Okay, gotcha.
Nats
Yeah.
deployment, delivery, Siphon producer, Nats deployment, Siphon consumer deployment, delivery. Um, Again, these are already issues like kind of existing somewhat um, in data insights group, but I'm just adding them here. So ClickHouse, another one. This is the last component. Oh, I guess we also have our components as well. So knowledge graph, infra components itself. So we need readiness review on this. I don't know if we need like infrasec review, like infrastructure security review. So question mark.
It'll probably happen, so it's good to put it on there. Yeah.
Um, I'm just unclear whether this is a part of readiness review process, but we'll figure it out. Um, and then of course, Helm chart configurations for um, um, both web server and indexer, whatever components we need essentially. Um, and then of course, staging, production.com, dedicated, self-managed. So this is the stuff that we need to collaborate with um, and help out where needed. I can mostly help. Hopefully, like you guys can focus on this part, right?
Yes.
Um, and I can help where needed on here. Um, these are high level work efforts, I think. I'm trying to think if I'm missing any. Let me just go to my engineering doc, like the brief here. Um, ClickHouse work. Did we capture the ClickHouse work for data sites development? So I guess this is also ClickHouse work, but I call it data sites development because sometime I'll just put any siphon changes needed,
Yeah.
define all the tables need to
Hmm.
ingest, probably effort for each table, effort
Yeah.
for MR for each table.
And these would be finely grained, not coarsely grained, so they're at like the column level, right? They're not just at a table level. Or would these
Um,
be coarsely grained, just like
these
here are the
are
tables?
no, no. So this is getting the like if we look at the architecture again,
Yep.
there there is our configuration, right? Our work specifically for like that's Jean Gabriel's stuff for
Yes.
I'm assuming we have the tables in ClickHouse, but we need to actually get the tables from Postgres to
Yeah.
NATS via the Siphon producer
Hmm.
and the ClickHouse consumer. So
Hmm.
Postgres Siphon producer to NATS to the ClickHouse consumer, which feeds it
Yes.
into ClickHouse. We need to get any missing tables that we need here that are most impactful. So we need to figure out which ones are the most impactful.
And this would live under the realm of siphon.yaml config, right? I mean, from what I understand.
It is that plus if you go to GitLab and you go to, as an example, the events table, or is
Oh,
it
I see. Okay. So
file?
so that's where this MR per table comes in. I see.
Yes. So you
Okay.
see this,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
oh wait, sorry, this is, what is this? This is just a class. Oh, that's just a finder. Locales, event, or I think it's create, or ClickHouse migrations, I think is the migration. Like these are all the definitions for like actually running the migrations, I'm pretty sure. Um, ClickHouse, um, I'm just trying to find an example one for you. Create events. Here we go. So you see,
Hmm.
and this feeds off of the events table in Postgres.
Okay.
You see what I'm
Okay.
saying? So what they do is they
Yes.
define the what table they want to put into ClickHouse. So the siphon map maps the actual. table name, quote unquote, to listen to, essentially,
Hmm.
from the logical replication stream. This defines the actual migration so that when that data propagates through all the way through the siphon producer, NATS, then consumer, it lands in this table appropriately.
Yes, that's right. Okay, so could you just link that in the chat, so so I
Yeah.
can.
Um,
This would be good just because John Gabriel and I will be talking about this shortly. So it's good to have a specific example of the types of migrations that Adam uh, talked to us about. So
I'll share this with Matt and Nitin after this.
okay,
But
yeah.
um, yeah, like we got to make this a little bit more pretty. But yeah, so security, data science, insights, development. Um, and of course, we'll learn this a lot because I guarantee you, right, when we get to building all this, we're going to be like, oh, we need the vulnerabilities table. How do we get the
Mhm.
vulnerabilities table over? And then we're going to have to build all that anyways, right?
Yes, that's right.
Or contribute to it and then probably annoy Adam and Ankit and
Yes,
Dennis
that's
and
right.
but
That's right.
I'm sure they'll be happy to be annoyed. So
This is good work. So
CI data deploying Siphon instance, define all tables in the ingest. So CI data, what was I talking about with CI data here? What? So any Siphon changes, right? Define the tables we need. Okay, I see. And then we'll call this ClickHouse uh, table migrations. Because I think not every ClickHouse table will be necessarily one-to-one with the Postgres database. Well, I think they do some other data modeling. Um, for instance, they add traversal ID. So we'll need to ensure traversal ID is on each table. If
yes,
not, and we need to talk with Adam and Ankit whether traversal ID should live on every table in the normalized world. He sent a link to I'll pull it up after. He sent a link to um, the data model that currently exists in ClickHouse, and so we'll just need to look at that. And also, we should be able to see it as soon as we spin up the ClickHouse locally and get everything running with GDK. Um, we should see the data model pretty quickly.
yeah,
Yeah. So this is all I can think of for now, but there's probably a lot more. Security threat model, right? That'll be ongoing as we do stuff. Maybe we can do infra security review as part of
yeah. I
this.
think that's good because that'll yeah.
Um, infra security review. So this will be like the stuff that we talked about. I don't know if you listened to the recording with Brendan. If you get time, Mike, listen to the one that we did with Brendan and Gus,
Yes.
where we talked about like MTLS between the microservices that we're making, right?
Yeah, I know there was an ongoing discussion between that or JWT.
We're doing
Um,
both. So we're doing
or doing both.
MPLS
Okay. Okay.
between
Yeah.
microservices, JWT. Oh, that's another implementation thing we have to do. So, and luckily, Zoic has that.
Yeah, yeah, I guess there's an auth section. We haven't filled it out completely yet, so we can put that under there.
Should we do auth? Is that what it should be under?
It should no, it should just be under the web server because that's our primary kind of
Yeah. So, or we
everything
have
is
auth.
downstream of
So
it.
then I guess auth is JWT, MTLS.
Yes. Um,
Um, another one is we need, or this is Rails. Are we doing Rails redaction layer and web server? I think we need Rails, like we need a separate thing for
yeah, yeah, that would be like monolith. Yeah.
Rails changes. we'll put this Rails redaction here, and then we'll need get all top level traversal IDs for user with reporter role. I think it is reporter plus role. That's a separate thing that we need to do,
Yeah.
or we need to see. It probably exists with the global search stuff. But so this essentially builds the try data structure according to how we designed it for ClickHouse, and that gets applied to it gets applied to the request at request time. So when we forward it off to the web server, it knows what to do.
Yeah. Also going to put a spike under here for data enrichment because we were talking about not including some columns, right?
Like
Uh,
description and stuff
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. So it's like
So yeah, like
essentially.
injecting, yeah, like injecting
So some of those
description
things are
and
like more real time, right? Because
yeah,
you're not going to delete an issue or whatever as fast as you're going to be changing descriptions. So
correct. Yeah.
um, yeah, we should definitely look into that and see the trade-offs of both. I also want to hear what Adam and um, team think of that. So, all right, I have to join this other meeting. I'll see you guys in a little bit.
Yep. See ya.
See you.